Hey everyone, and good evening. Today is Friday the 28th of April, and I'm going to do a stitch with me. I'm working on this really nice design, and I'm working in the top corner. This is what I'm working on so far. So what I'm doing with this one is I'm just filling the colour down by 2, parking in the next one, and then going across. It's a little while till tea and everything else, so I just thought I'd just hop on and catch you up. Just have to thread my needle. This is 6/1 on tent stitch, so that is 6 strands with 1/1 square. Yeah, so still can't bring myself to do diamond painting. It will happen. I'm not going to push it, so I'm sorry if I said I was going to do some videos, but that's not going to happen now. Yeah, you're probably going to see this upside down. I can't get this any closer to where I'm stitching, and I don't have a very good setup. I don't have a decent overhead camera stand for Stitch With Me, so I'm going to have to probably invest in something like that. Yeah, so I'm working on black at the moment. So yeah, so how has everyone's week been? Mine's been pretty good. We've had beautiful weather this week, like a really nice autumn weather. Mid-20s, couple of warmer days where it's 25. But the weather's turning right now. It's very windy, and we're going to have a lot of rain, probably starting from tonight or weekend, and it's getting pretty cold. So yeah, have beautiful weather. It's been nice. What have I done this week? I have caught up with my friend. I used to do sewing and quilting, patchwork, but I don't do that anymore, so I gave her one of my sewing machines, a Janome, and a heap of material and rotary cutter. I have another one, and a cutting mat. I have another one of them, and everything, because she's just started patchwork a couple of weeks ago, and so she's got tubs of my material. If I ever get back into patchwork and quilting, then I will just buy more material. I haven't quilted in 7 years. Made patchwork things. I used to make heaps, like table runners, and I've made project bags and some really nice blankets for the boys, and a lot of stuff from my mum. You look around a house, it's got pictures. Like, I used to do foundation paper piecing. I love that, and if I ever get back into patchwork, then I'll go into foundation paper piecing. Yeah, but I'm just not there, so it was just sitting there doing nothing. I still have my machine embroidery brother, because I used to do machine embroidery as well. So yeah, so I've kept a few things, so I dropped all that off for her this week so that she could get started and everything else. Yeah, I'm sewing this one-handed because I need to hold my key snap steady. So yeah, what else? Okay, I also have tropical fish tank. My husband bought me one for my birthday last year, and I've never kept tropical fish, so it took a bit of a learning curve. I've got guppies and stuff. Anyway, I've got he bought me a 20-litre tank to start off with, and it became a little small, so he bought me a 70-litre tank. And in my 70-litre tank, I had guppies, male and female. I've got platies, male and female. I've got mollies, male and female. Corridoras, catfish. And then I bought a female betta. I thought, because I read that they can be okay. And so I decided, I've also read that female bettas can live in groups of up to 5. So I bought some last week. Yeah, last week I bought 2 more female bettas, and I bought 2 dwarf gouramis. They're a blue and an orange one. They're really pretty. And I put them in my smaller tank, thinking everything would be fine, thinking, okay, my bettas, they're not going to eat any babies that I get from my live bearing fish, and they'll be fine. Well, one of the female bettas is highly aggressive. Like, she's gorgeous. She's a very dark blue, purple, almost black, with red fins. She's beautiful. And she is highly, highly aggressive. And she was attacking my other bettas, my blue betta, and I have a sky blue and a red one, attacking them in the 20-litre tank. And the dwarf gouramis are in the same tank as the bettas. And I went, wow. And I went to feed them a couple of days ago, and I noticed my female dwarf gourami hiding in a corner, and the female betta constantly trying to attack her. So I went, right. So I transported my non-aggressive bettas into my main tank. That's a 70-litre tank. The tanks are right next to each other in my lounge room. You might be able to hear the filters and the bubbles. Anyway, so I decided I would put all my non-aggressive fish in the main tank. Well, this female betta has attacked this poor female dwarf gourami so much that she's missing half of her scales on her face and everything else. So I also noticed for a while my male mollies are being aggressive as well. So I have transported all my non-aggressive fish in with my guppies and platies and everything else, and the 2 bettas, so they're all happy. And my aggressive fish, the 2 male mollies and this aggressive female betta, is in my smaller tank. And it's like, right, you lot can live there. My male mollies have chewed some of my guppies' tails, and yet everything I read, mollies and guppies supposed to be fine together, and they're not supposed to be aggressive. Well, they were constantly hounding. The 2 male mollies were not only hounding the female mollies, but they were hounding everything in the tank. So they're now companion for the aggressive betta. So they can all live happily in one tank. And my other tank is a lot more settled. The fish aren't being chased. And yeah, so hopefully my female gourami. She comes good. Like, she's really pretty, and like I was really disappointed actually to see, and she'd only been with the female betta for about 3-4 days. Yeah. So yeah, they're doing better. Yeah, like my mug. It says procrastinate to cross stitch when you could be doing housework. Yeah, isn't it cool? I got it from a shop, a needle workshop in around Sydney. So, and it was posted to me. So yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. Now, what else has been interesting and happening this week? Oh yeah, we're looking after my son's Labrador, chocolate lab. He's a puppy. He's 1 year old. Where my son is staying, living at the moment, he can't have him. There's a heap of other dogs and ducks and a whole menagerie. Anyway, can't have him. So we've had Bruce for 5 months. There's a backstory with how we got him, and yeah, I won't go into that right now. But yeah, we've had Bruce for, yeah, like I said, 5 months. Well, I went out 2 days ago, and there's an old couch on the deck. It's an undercover deck, and it has a step down to the backyard. So he's up in that area, and he's got the backyard. Well, I went out the other morning to feed him, and the naughty monkey had decided to chew the couch. He has destroyed this couch. I mean, yes, it's an older couch, but he's been pulling foam out of the cushion and playing with it and everything. So he got into big trouble for that. And then that was fine. And then the next day, he did it again. That was yesterday. He did it again. Well, Josh, he's my youngest, he came round to see him after work yesterday. And he went and he got into more trouble, of course, you know, because that's just not on. You can't just destroy couches just because you feel like it. And since then, he's been pretty good. But yes, he absolutely hates... Sorry, I'm just getting the next colour. Orange. I'm working on the next colour I'm going to be working with is number 823. Yeah, so Bruce absolutely hates upsetting his dad, my son. So hopefully he stops that nonsense because, yes, silly dog. I mean, we can't have him indoors. He's not fixed, so he marks, and that's fine. He's a puppy. But not only that is that we have 2 cats. You might have heard me talk about my cats before. Like, I have a black Maine Coon, black smoke Maine Coon, and I have a white cat. Now, Pixie and Shadow are 3 and a bit years old, not used to dogs. So Bruce was fine when he was littler. He was fine with the cats. But now that he's, of course, a big, full-grown male, he thinks it's great fun to bark at Shadow and try and get him. And if I had Bruce in my house, it would be chaos. Shadow likes to torment Bruce. Shadow goes, because we've got like where the back door is, there's a little, I don't know, you call it like a mud room, I guess. There's before the screen door, and that's where one of the cat towers is. And I mean, Shadow can't get out. My cats are indoor only. I value our wildlife too much, and plus we live on a busy road. Anyway, so our cats are indoor only, but Shadow can get to the windows in his cat tower, smell outside and everything else. And him and Bruce like to sit there between the door looking at each other. And sometimes Shadow will annoy Bruce. Sorry, I'm just starting this. Shadow will annoy Bruce and think it's great fun to pounce at the door, because Bruce can't get in because of course the security door is locked, and to pounce at him and to wind Bruce up. Yes, great fun. And then Bruce of course starts barking and carrying on, and then move Shadow away. But if Bruce comes inside, which he has done, like if he's heading out with Josh or something and he sees Shadow absolutely freaks out, of course, and runs away, and has tried to go Bruce. Shadow is such a he thinks he's big tough cat. He really isn't. He's really the softest marshmallow ever, until Bruce is inside. So it would be utter chaos to have Bruce and Shadow in the same area. And my husband is a shift worker. He drives taxis, and so it would just be bedlam. So that's why Bruce is outside. When before we had Shadow and Pixie, we had 2 labs. We had a golden male and a black female, and we bred them, and they had a couple. I think Lexi had 25 pups to Merlin, and Merlin. We had Merlin from a pup. So when the boys were little, and he died 5 years ago. He had a stroke, and it was the most heartbreaking thing ever. I mean, they were indoors. They were our companions. We didn't have the cats at the time. And they were our constant companions. And Merlin had a stroke. And so he had to cross over. That was 2018, I think. Yeah, and then in 2020, we lost Lexi. She was 2 years younger than Merlin. Merlin was 11 and a half, nearly 12 when he died, and Lexi was 12. And Lexi had cancer. She got facial cancer. Yeah, and again, she was in our home, and she passed. She's actually coming up her 3rd anniversary. And they were our constant companions. They were our family. They grew up with the boys, and we were devastated. We still are. Absolutely gutted when they had to go. And because for 13 years, we'd had the 2 dogs as constant companions, I begged my husband for a cat. And reluctantly, he agreed, and I said, okay. So my friend said she knew someone who had kittens and needs to get rid of them. The kittens are about 4 months old. So when I went and picked up Pixie, she was the only cat that came to me. The kittens had been left outside with the mother and the father, with the mother, and they'd been left outside, and they were living under the house, and food thrown at them occasionally, every day, but not very much human contact. But Pixie was the bravest, and she came straight to me, and I picked her up, and I went, yep, you're coming home with me. And I brought her home, and she was very very skittish when we first got her. She was I had to teach her how to use the litter tray, because she hadn't been taught litter tray. She was a lot underweight. She was tiny, like when I took her to the vets, she only weighed 1 point something kilos. She was really small. She's my white girl. You might have seen her on another video. And yeah, she was malnourished, and she would hide under the couch, in the bedroom, hide and everything else. And it took us a lot of love and patience to get her out of her shell. And then a few months after we got Pixie, about 2 months after we got Pixie, I think, my friend had rescued Shadow. He was about the same age as Pixie, about 6 months, and he'd been abandoned by someone, and she rescued him, and then she had him, and then she had to look after her parents' cats or something, and she said, I can't have 4 cats. She had a cat of her own or something. Anyway, she goes, and I said, can we grab him? And we got him, and we thought, you know, it'd be good for Pixie. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at my number again, 34. And thought, yep. And now Shadow is the most cheekiest. He is like a puppy dog. He is loving and sweet and very cute, very cheeky, but rambunctious, of course. You know, he's a big cat, and he thinks it's great fun to tip Pixie up and try and wrestle with her. She doesn't like that. So when we got Shadow, they got on, and Shadow straight away would come to us and, you know, be on us and see us in the morning and follow us everywhere. And Pixie didn't. And every time we had visitors, she would hide and wouldn't come out for days. For a while, she lived under the couch. She wouldn't come out. You know, she was half feral when we got her. So we then, lots of love and playing with Shadow and having her out. She has come out of her shell. She doesn't sit on me. She'll come up for pats and everything else. She likes to follow us where we go, make sure around the house where we are. But she is now the most confident little girl. She's out when my friends are here. She'll go up and investigate what they're doing. She's still very, very playful. She's like a kitten still. And incredibly playful. And she is the sweetest, gentlest little girl. My husband was saying to me the other day that he's never known a cat to be like Pixie. She doesn't hurt you. She doesn't scratch. She doesn't bite. She doesn't anything. I mean, she'll go Shadow sometimes because, well, he annoys her, and you can understand that he annoys her. So you get that. But she is just absolutely a sweetheart. And Shadow, he's like a puppy, and he's beautiful. And if anyone of you have Maine Coons, you would know what I'm talking about. And my husband, though he was reluctant to get Pixie, and then even more reluctant to get Shadow, he adores them. Absolutely adores these two. And yeah, so we decided, you know, it costs a lot to get any dog now. Like, you're looking at thousands of dollars. And we decided, okay, we probably won't get another dog. And last year, my son went with his biological. He wanted to go get a dog and everything. He was going to live with his dad. Him and his girlfriend had split up temporarily and everything else. And then he went and got Bruce, and he picked a chocolate lab because he didn't want to look like Merlin or Lexi. Bruce is gorgeous. He's beautiful. And it helps that he's not, you know, black or gold. He's chocolate. And he's beautiful. And we have him because Bruce was going to live with Josh, and he's biological and everything else. But the boy's biological dad was killed last year. He was hit by a bus. They were a long story. He was killed in June last year. And so Josh was going to stay at the house and didn't know where Bruce was. And because Bruce was a puppy, because Josh lives with his girlfriend at her parents' house at the time, they couldn't have him because, you know, he was chewing up everything. You know, he's a puppy. And so by Christmas, Josh had moved him back to his dad's house. But Bruce got out. And he goes, Mum, you've got to have him for a little while, that's fine. And yeah, well, that's Christmas. Well, I mean, we don't mind. And so Josh is now living with friends, still with his girlfriend, of course, and everything. But, you know, it's struggling. It's difficult for houses and everything at the moment. So, and he can't live in the house because the second ex-wife, you know, I was married to him first time, has decided she wants everything, and so there's a whole big mess. But anyway, we have Bruce, and yeah, so yeah, he's beautiful. Yeah, so the boy's dad was 46. And yeah, he died 3 days before Joshua's birthday. David lives in Melbourne. He's my older boy, and he is, you know, so Josh is around all the time and everything like that. So yeah, so it's been pretty hard for them this year. Yeah, so him getting Bruce, that was the last trip he went on with his dad. So Bruce is very special. And he adores Josh. Like, you can just tell. He just adores Josh so much. And he listens. And Josh has done really well with him. Took him to puppy school and everything else. And Bruce is really well mannered. Except, like, when he's chewing stuff he's not supposed to. But, like, you know, he listens well. And he's got the right training. I mean, he still is a puppy. Labradors are puppies until they're 2. And so, you know, of course, he's going to be naughty sometimes. But mostly, he's a really good dog. I just feel bad that I can't have him indoors to be with us. But it is what it is, I guess. If you haven't guessed, I'm a big animal lover. We all are. And so, yeah. We also have 2 green cheek conures that used to live inside, but now they live on the deck. Well, under the veranda with Bruce outside. They're in a nice cage and stuff. And yeah. And Skittles flew to us as well. She escaped her cage. And we found her. She was half nourished. She was eating food from Merlin's food bowl. And she let us pick her up and everything. And we obviously asked around and if anyone had lost this conure, and no. So she came to us and she stayed. And yeah, she's a bit of a Houdini. So we've had to zip tie all of the cage openings, you know, like shut so that she can't get out and things like that. But yeah, she's got a male. He's a turquoise colour. Skittles is the normal green cheek, but Indy is a turquoise colour. and they're a bonded mated pair. They have had eggs. She's had chicks, but unfortunately the chicks haven't survived, and now I think she's getting a little bit too old to breed. Like, she must be, we work out, she must be about 12, 13 or something, so yeah. So, okay, yeah, she likes talking to the parrots outside as around and stuff, so they're happy. Yeah, so that's me. What else has been happening? Not a great deal. Have my flu shot next week. That'd be fun. Yeah, much. I'll finish this little square here, and then because we're already up to 30 minutes, goes fast, and then I'll end this stitch with me. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you to all my new subscribers for supporting my channel. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the likes and the comments. And yeah, thank you for helping my channel grow. I now have 11 subscribers. That's so cool. So yeah, thank you. Really appreciate it. I'm really sorry if this is backwards for you. Oops, wrong angle. Yeah. Yeah, my oldest son David, he's working hard. He's in his last year of his PhD in biomedical science, and he's studying lung cancer. He's working hard. He's got a few months left, so he's hoping to graduate this year, which is absolutely fantastic. Him and his girlfriend in March went to Portugal. There was a medical conference he was invited to, and of course the uni paid for him to go, so they had 2 weeks. It was a 3-day conference, but I mean, they had 2-week holiday in Portugal, and unbelievable. Lucky them. So yes, David has not left school. He'll be 26 in a couple of weeks, and yeah, so he's in his final 6 months of his PhD in biomed science as a research. So we are just crazy proud, of course. He's going to go a long way. His research is already he's doing lots of things about lung cancer, and I don't understand a lot of what he's studying or what he says, because of course it's all way above my level. But yeah, and Josh, he's a second apprenticeship. He left school at 17. Josh will be 24 in June. Yeah, so he left school at 17 because he wasn't living with me. He was living with his dad from 13. That was his choice. He chose to live with him. And so he left school at 17 and went and did a mechanic trade apprenticeship. So he did that, and then decided he wanted to be a mechanic. I mean, fully qualified mechanic. And then he went to the power station. He did a shot, and he decided he wanted to be fitter and turner. So he is in his 2nd or 3rd year, I think, apprenticeship for a fitter and turner at the power station, and he now is doing night school 2 days a week as well to get his certificate for mechanical engineering, to go to uni to become a mechanical engineer. Like, they're just crazy brains. Like, I'm so proud of both of them. They're just doing amazing. Like, Josh lives in the local area, so we see him a fair bit. But like I said, David and lives with his girlfriend in Melbourne, near the uni he works at and studies at. Like, he works at the uni as well as, you know, doing his research there. And yeah, just crazy. They're just going to be going a long way. They're just amazing. Oh, that noise is Shadow scratching on his. We have the cardboard scratching posts, and I have one right by my table on the arm, so he doesn't scratch the arms of the couch. So yeah, that scratching was Shadow. I can't find the hole. Don't you hate that? Got it. I can't believe we're in May next week. This year is flying. It's just blink and you miss it. The years seem to be getting faster and faster. It's just ridiculous. Yeah. Has anybody been watching anything interesting? I watched most of the seasons of Riverdale for a while. I thought, oh yeah, no, that was pretty good. And then I haven't watched from season 6 or something. I've got 1.5 seasons to go, I think. Yeah. So, but then I started watching Lock and Key on Netflix, and I've got 2 episodes of that left. And then I finished that series. Excuse me, froggy. I have to grab a drink. I just have a water bottle by my. Yeah, so I've been watching Lock and Key. That's really interesting. I don't know what I'm going to watch next. I've got no idea. It's getting so dark so fast. Because it's going to rain. It was dark. Well, gloomy dark before 5 o'clock today. Missed daylight savings. But it's good too, because it means that you're not waking up at 7 or whatever and it's pitch black. So there is that. But yeah, days are definitely getting shorter. Well, we're in winter in June, so yeah, we're definitely heading towards the dreary season. It wouldn't be so bad if occasionally it snowed. I mean, other than the mountains, you know, make it look all pretty and nice. We just get freezing, you know, dreary days and rain, and I think that's worse. Gloomy days and, you know, cold and depressing. I'm not a big fan of the dreary, gloomy days. Don't mind rain occasionally, you know, but days of it, and But we also get really nice days in winter too, like cold but sunny. So that isn't too bad. But yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of the gloom. Nearly finished. Yeah, good job, I've nearly finished. Shadow's pacing around. He's going to come and annoy me in a minute. He's going, feed me, Mum, feed me, feed me. Hey, oh, sorry, excuse me. Shadow. Sorry, he just reached up and tried to scratch my lace curtains. He gets naughty when I'm not feeding him straight away. He's such a character. He's so funny. He's so loving. Come up to you when you're lying down and lie on you and head bump you and purr away and lick you like a puppy dog. And on the other hand, he's so sweet. But then he's got an imp in him. He can be really cheeky too. So yeah. Certainly make our lives fun, not boring and everything else. And yeah. No. There we go. I missed that a little bit, so I was just stretching that stitch out. Alright, everyone. Thank you for watching and listening to me ramble on for the last 40 minutes. Have a really good evening and a good weekend. And according to my parcels tracking, I should be getting some parcels on Monday, so that will be really exciting. Been waiting weeks for them, so that'll be really exciting. So I'll be doing an unboxing very soon. Alright, well, take care and have fun. Bye.